Hello, also really important video right here, should be pretty quick. We're looking at 6.2 part 2. We are going to talk about how to reverse engineer each one of these problems. So what we're trying to do is figure out if the volume of the prism below is 82 meters cubed, then what is the value of x? And x is this third dimension right here. Well, all we do is we plug in the formula. We use whether it's a parallel or point solid to decide what the formula is, plug those things in, and then solve the equation. So the volume, since this is a parallel solid, we are not going to use 1/3. It's area of the base times the height. So this is what we did in the last one. But note the area of the base in this time, we have a particular base we could use. We could use this front face as the base, for example. And we could do 5 times 4 times the height then, which would be the direction perpendicular to that, which would be x. You could also do 4 times x for this base times the height, which is 5. It doesn't matter. In the end, you're going to get 5 times 4 times x. So let's put this together. Area of the base is 5 times length times width times the height, which is x. We're going to now substitute values in. Length and width are 5 and 4 times x. Now the volume is the particular number that we know, which is actually 82. So we can actually take this, instead of writing v, we can just write 82. Because we know the volume of the prism is 82. All right, so 82 is 5 times 4 times x, so 82 equals 20x. Divide both sides by 20. And we get that x is 82 divided by 20, which is 8.2 divided by 2, or 4.1. And what units do you use? Well, we know we're doing cubic meters here, so we'll do 4.1 meters because we want to use meters for every dimension. And that's our answer, 4.1 meters. And then you can double check that. 5 times 4 times 4.1, 20 times 4.1 is going to equal to, just double checking this, yes, 82. Example 2, if the volume of the cylinder is 150 pi, then what is its radius? Well, let's do its, they say what's its radius, so I'm gonna make a little mark right there. That's its radius. Well, what's the formula? It's a parallel solid, so we don't use 1/4. We just use the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is pi r squared, because it's a circle, times the height. And let's plug in the values we know. They say the volume is 150 pi, so v is 150 pi, and that equals pi r squared times h, which is 6. We will now start solving this equation. I'll simplify this all down. 150 pi equals 6 pi r squared. I put the 6 in front. That's the standard to put it in front of the pi. And then I'll divide it both by 6 pi because we want to get r in the end by itself. The pi's will cancel out, and 150 divided by 6 is 25. So 25 is r squared, which means the radius is the square root of 25, which is 5. And then we need a unit. Notice that they use inches here, and we're looking at inches cubed, so this is 5 inches. And there you go. Example number 3. If the volume of the pyramid below is 1.6 centimeters cubed, then find the perimeter of the base. Notice this one's weird. It says find the perimeter of the base. You got to read that very closely. Perimeter of the base. Now this is a point solid. So what is the formula? It's volume equals, and we need, since it's a point solid, we need our 1/3 factor. So 1/3 area of the base is, this appears to be a square. If they don't tell me otherwise, I'm going to, Ooh, wait, no. It's not a square. So notice they actually don't give me an x here. This is interesting. So what I have to do is just put an x for my unknown value. My unknown value here is this one. How do I know it's that one? Well, I already know this, and so I know this. And I already know the height, so we just need this. We just need that distance. Equivalently, we could have put the x here, and it would have been that distance, but it's the same thing. All right, so what do? We plug into our formula. Well, it's 1/3 area of the base, so that's 0.8x times the height, which is 1.2. I actually could here, I could put 0.8, I could put this as length, and then x being the width, and then this would be the height. But I substituted in a little earlier. That's okay, you can do either way. Then I'll substitute in, again, substitute anything that I know. I don't know x, but I do know the volume V. Right here it tells me that that's 1.6. So 1.6 is 1/3 times 0.8 times 1.2 times x. I like to put my variables at the end there. We will now solve this by simply multiplying and dividing on both sides. You can get various different values, but one thing I'll note is that this 1/3 here, since it's a fraction, we should get rid of that ASAP. So I'm gonna multiply both sides by 3. I'll do that in a different color here. I'm gonna multiply both sides times 3, and that'll cancel out there. 3 times 1.6 is 4.2, if I'm not mistaken. No, 4.8. So we have 4.8 equals, those cancel each other out, so we multiplied by 3 on both sides. And you get 0.8 times 1.2. 0.8 times 1.2 is 0.96 x. And now to get x by itself, we'll divide both sides by 0.96. 96. And we get our result. 4.8 divided by 0.96 is 5. And so x is equal to this, which turns out to be 5. Then what do we need? 5 of some unit. And so it's centimeters. But look at the question. They say, what is the perimeter of the base? Perimeter. So if we want the perimeter, we have to add up all 4 sides for the base. So what do we have? We're going to take this, I'll do some erasing of what we did earlier, just so I have some space, and I'll show you. To get the perimeter, you just add up the 4 different lengths of the base. So it's the sum of 5, 0.8, 0.8, and 5, all added together. 5 plus 5 is 10, 0.8 plus 1 is 1.6, so this is 11.6. Double check that. You always take a moment and double check your work. Yes. And so the perimeter of the base, perimeter, is 11.6 centimeters. You know to use the unit centimeters because it is a length, it is a distance, just add them all up. And that's all there is to this. Just note the key thing they say here with perimeter, just note what question you're trying to answer before you finish it up. You can find the unknown value and then figure out the answer.